the seasons where you want to give up on life. Congratulations! Like, that means you are so close to the next big thing happening for you. When you feel like giving up, that is when you need to surrender. Surrender your dreams, your doubts, your fears. Surrender the feeling of wanting to quit. Now, listen to this video because I have something in here for you. If you're feeling low, if you feel like you're hitting your head against the wall, if you feel like you just cannot reach this goal or get this dream or get out of this rut or depression, you need to surrender. Maybe the reason it hasn't worked out yet is because that is not God's plan for your life. That is not the purpose you are here. That is not the trajectory that He wants you on. And, I think a lot of times there's this saying, there's this theory that the universe constantly shows us the same lesson over and over and over until we finally wake up and understand what it's trying to teach us. And it comes in different forms. It looks different for everybody. But for an example, say that you keep attracting the wrong men to date, and it's just men with mommy issues or just unemotionally available people. There's a reason for that. And you need to look at yourself and realize maybe it is you that's attracting these people. Maybe there's something in you that you haven't learned yet that is causing all of this turmoil. And it isn't until you wake up and realize that you can change your situation. And when I say surrender, I mean surrender to whatever is going on in your life. Why are you trying to control everything? You cannot control everything that happens around you. The one thing that you can control is how you respond to every situation in your life. And, life is 5% of what happens to us and 95% of how we respond. You can create pure bliss up in here, or you can create suffering in your mind. You get to choose. And you surrender to your situation, your next step, the next step on your staircase of your purpose, of the reason you're here on earth, of whatever it is that you are trying to achieve. It might just show up. I think people operate in a fear mode too much, and you have two choices in life. You can either operate out of fear or you can operate out of love. Fear and love cannot coexist. That is not an option. So it is your choice, whatever situation you're facing right now. If you're depressed, if you're in a rut, if you're sad, if something is just not working out, things are not going your way, surrender to it. Let it go and know that God has a bigger plan for your life, a bigger purpose than whatever suffering you're feeling right now. Whatever you may be experiencing, it is for a reason. And God may not have given you your situation. Maybe you have a disease that you can't get rid of. Maybe you have experienced infidelity in your marriage. Maybe you just made the worst business decision of your life and you're depressed, or you just lost your job. God doesn't necessarily cause these bad things to happen in your life, but He absolutely uses them. He uses them to glorify Him and to show you that He's always in control. So why are you holding on so tightly and thinking that you are the one in control? If you think that you can mess up your purpose and your plan for your life, you are not that powerful. I promise you, that decision that you made, that you're feeling, like you should not have done that, yeah, it was a mistake and you're human. But surrender to the outcome, because it is going to be whatever it is. It will be what it will be. Que sera, sera. I've noticed, I had Lyme disease for many years, and I always questioned why I had it. Why can't I just be normal? Why can't I just feel normal? Why do I have to struggle with disease day in and day out? God didn't give me disease, but He used it. He used it to maybe propel me into a different career, into a different city. It is such a beautiful thing when you finally can surrender and throw your hands up and say, you know what, I feel like quitting, but I'm gonna keep going, and I surrender to whatever the outcome is. You don't have a choice on what the outcome is, but you do have a choice in the work that you do right now. On yourself, on your relationships, on whatever situation you're going through, to let it go. Let it go and let God take care of it. There's an incredible book called The Surrender Experiment, and it's about this author who basically he was on this deep meditation journey, and he decided to throw his hands up and surrender his whole life to whatever may come. And the things that took place in that book was astronomically amazing. It was things that you never would have believed would have happened to a human, to somebody, good things, bad things. But through all of it, he just surrendered. He let it go. And I think that's the biggest point of this video is if you feel like you're at the end of your rope, let go, surrender. Trust that there's going to be water underneath you to catch you, to break your fall. It's a matter of believing that you don't have all the control, but you do have the power to let go and believe that whatever season you're in, it's not going to be forever. It ends. Every single season of our lives eventually comes to an end. And you're meant to learn something in this season. I don't know what that is for you. You're gonna have to create some space, maybe go take a walk with yourself, go out in nature, and just figure out, okay, what is it that the world, that God is trying to teach me right now? This thing that you're dealing with, think about, what are some lessons that you can take out of it? There is something to be learned in every single season of life. In the depressive seasons, difficulty, the joy, the seasons that you feel lonely, the seasons where you want to give up on life. That, congratulations! Like, that means you are so close to the next big thing happening for you. Like, I think that we get tested, an adversary comes and attacks us when we are so close to our purpose. Of course he wants to attack you. You're a threat because you're close to what you're meant to be doing. You're close to the next big break. You're close to finding your dream spouse. Like, you're close to getting pregnant and having a beautiful child. Like, I am so serious when I say, let go, surrender, let God, and see what happens. So here's your takeaway. You're gonna write down on a piece of paper right now what you want to surrender. Write it all down. And then I want you to take that piece of paper, rip it up, and burn it, throw it in the, well, don't throw it in the ocean. We don't want to litter. But take that piece of paper, maybe go bury it in some dirt somewhere, and let it go. Just, okay, throwing my hands up. I have no control over the situation. I'm going to let God see what he can do, and just continue to walk in that bliss, and knowing if you operate out of the expectation that you know things are going to be okay, that on the other side of this, the future version of you is looking at you in the face and saying, we made it, we did it, we got through that feeling of wanting to quit, we surrendered, and look at where we are now. Like, just imagine yourself in the next year. Where do you want to be? Surrender to that. And just know that everything is going to be okay. So if this helped, please subscribe. And this was just something on my heart that I feel like someone needed to hear. So if this did help, please drop a comment on what you're wanting to surrender. And you guys, I'll see you in the next one. You don't have to feel alone. A lot of us are walking through very similar things. And I think once we get vulnerable and open up about it, that's when true connection can come in. So I believe in you. Until next time.